The tension certainly seems to be building between Pat McAfee and some people at ESPN. Just a few days after the Aaron Rodgers-Jimmy Kimmel fiasco blew up and mainstream woke media blew it completely out of proportion. And, Pat McAfee had to address that on his show. Just a few days later, on Friday afternoon, in the last hour of the show, he made some very big statements, specifically accused some people at ESPN of trying to sabotage him, called Norby Williamson, a guy who works there, an ESPN executive, a rat who was out to get him, who doesn't like him, and was leaking information to try to put the show in a bad light. Well, not only was Pat McAfee not really punished in any way for that, ESPN came out and said, we appreciate Norby Williams, but we also appreciate what Pat McAfee's doing with his show. Well, now Pat McAfee has actually doubled down on this. Pat McAfee doubles down on calling ESPN boss a rat on ESPN. And once again, he did it live on air. Now, last time, he wasn't on linear television. He did it while they were on the ESPN Plus and while they were doing the YouTube show. But this time, this was on ESPN. Listen to this.
Not be down here in Houston, Texas at the national championship. ESPN has set us up pretty good here.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Now, there are some comments about one particular person at ESPN.
Sure.
That I made only on the YouTube ESPN Plus show. That wasn't even on linear TV.
What was that?
I didn't know anybody was going to hear it because it was just on digital.
And no one does digital.
I guess everybody did hear it. It was a topic of discussion, obviously, the entire weekend. Sure.
Now that he's taking a little jab right there because apparently Norby Williamson doesn't really think that what anybody does on YouTube or any other social media platform matters. He's only concerned with kind of linear cable television ratings. So that's a little jab, man. I said it on the YouTube show exclusively. Didn't think anybody fucking cared about that. Well, it turns out everybody was talking about it. It was one of the biggest stories in sports over the weekend.
Sure. And the only thing that I'm super bummed out about it all is that a guy that we like a lot, a man that watched the game with us in the suite, Burke Magnus, who is currently new guy in charge at ESPN, right below Jimmy Pitaro. I guess he was kind of made to look bad because of what I did and how I did it. I would like to let everybody know we love Burke Magnus.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Love Burke Magnus.
Love you, Burke.
And also love Jimmy Pitaro.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Love Bob Iger.
What?
But there is...
Now, I'm going to stop you right there. Bob Iger's a massive piece of shit, and he's one of the biggest reasons Disney's failing across the board. That aside, it is interesting because you can see the guy he's talking about, Burke Magnus, the person who is Norby Williamson, the guy he's calling out, his boss. That's who Pat McAfee was talking about. He posted a picture with him immediately in the aftermath of calling out this other ESPN executive. Pat McAfee keeps winning. After calling his ESPN boss a rat, he went to the Colts game yesterday with his boss's boss and posed for a picture that he then shared on social media. So clearly he's trying to send a message that I think I'm pretty important to this company, more important than you are, Norby Williamson. You're in the past, I'm the future, and I can call you a fucking rat and then double down on your own network, and there's nothing you can do.
It's quite a transition era here, between the old and the new. New. And the old don't like what the new be do. You know what I mean? So there is certainly going to be a couple of that, but we're very thankful. A lot of people are saying I'm trying to get fired. No way.
Whoa.
What ESPN has been able to do for us, more specifically, whenever they do things like this, you have no idea about the crew behind the scenes here that we've been working with basically all year. Not only on game day, but for our show, whenever we're traveling, we got nothing but love for all of these people. Now, there's certainly people we do not like. Certainly.
Naturally.
And they do not like us. That's how it's going to be. And I don't take back anything that I said about said person. But the overall storyline about us and ESPN, I think people need to remember. We're strong, baby.
Bingo.
We are strong, baby.
Right.
And we all understand what the future looks like. There's just some old hags that potentially don't. But we will move forward to that. Speaking of the future, playoff picture.
Now, I do think that, I don't know if Pat McAfee's going to get all the way 5 years through this thing. I think there's a chance that, a year from now or something, he does get tired of the corporate structure. He gets tired of maybe even some of those people that like him right now and are supporting him right now, still saying, well, you can't quite do that. You can't quite do that. And maybe he leaves and does his own thing for a while again. But for right now, he's making it pretty clear that he likes a lot of people at ESPN, but he hates the people who are intentionally trying to sabotage him. And he's doubling down on calling an ESPN executive a rat, a guy who's trying to sabotage him, that he doesn't fucking like him. Not only did he not get publicly punished for that, but he doubles down the next time he's on air. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.